Alright, now with my framework for the K-Rock underpinning, I'm going to show you guys how to put up the framework for it. It's important when you measure it to be sure whatever space is between your 2x4 on top and on bottom. We've got 29 and I think it's 5/8. Anyway, 29 and 5/8, but we want to go ahead and do it at a minimum 30 because this board down here you can see is a little off the ground, so it's going to push that down, and we want a tight fit so when we go to put our screw in to hold the stud in, it'll be wedged. And so just be sure that you add a little to your board you cut for a stud so you can have a tight fit and be able to put your screws in it without it pushing out the back side on you, or front side, whichever side you're putting the screw in. Best to put them in the front side, easier to get to, but be sure to cut it a little longer than you actually measure between the boards, and because it will push it up in here a little further too, I'd imagine. And you can see there's space there. And then before you go to put your sheet on, before you cut it and all that, it's best to go ahead and dig out your little trench. So, you know, that's just going to add strength to it. It's going to seal the bottom up really good, and it can't hurt it a bit. Keep a wind out of it, whatever. And I'll make you guys another video when I get it finished. I'll show you the finished work. Here's what I've done so far. And you can see there's some places here I dug rather deep down in there, but I'm figuring the deeper I go, the more strength it'll add to my structure. Can't hurt a thing. But right here, I put me a door. There's the drain to the washing machine and the water going into the house. I want to keep an area like that open so I can just open a door there and not have to crawl from all the way down there to up here. I'm going to put a door on the other end, but I figure this door right here is absolutely going to be necessary to save me from crawling under the distance of the trailer. But I will come back and let you guys know when I get it finished. I'll update you and show you the finished work. It's my next stud. I'm going to measure that 30, even though it come out 29 and 5/8. I may even go just a touch bigger than 30 on it. It just depends, I don't know. But seeing how this piece is a little off the ground here, you can see that. I mean, that's pretty obvious. That's going to sink down when you put a stud in it and wedge it between them. And then this one, I'm imagining up here is going to press up a little bit. And so I want a good solid fit. And then I'll let you guys know when I get the stud cut and everything. I'll come back and show you guys how I place the stud with a hammer and everything to straighten it up and put it in place and everything. But yeah, let me get that started, and I'll pause this in the meantime and be back with you in just a second. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and measure to cut another stud down here on the other end of this framework. So, oh, sorry about that, guys. Now I'm gonna go ahead and measure down here at this end, so that way I can go ahead and have a stud for both ends and have them, sorry guys, and have them both set. So right here I can see my bottom of my frame is honestly off the ground there too, so I have to do the same thing. I just got to remember to go ahead and add a little extra to it than what my actual measurement comes out to, so it's good and snug in there. Makes it a lot easier when you go to put a screw in, when you can put pressure on it and it don't go flying anywhere. Okay, I'm getting exactly 36 right here on this one. So I'll maybe, the bottom is off the ground down here as well. So I'm thinking I'll maybe put 36.5, because you know I can get my fingers under there. So yeah, 36.5 shouldn't hurt me any. This is actually, when I put the stud up there, it's going to pick this end up even further. But once I get both studs set in place, it should straighten the board out there and actually push it down. It'll bend it the other way if it's snug enough. So like I said, this one here came out to 36 up top, so that'll that'll be a good 36.5, and that should give me what I need to hold him in place real good for me. So yeah, without the board there, you can see the 36 comes up probably more than 2 inches from the bottom of the trailer there. So yeah, it's going to clearly need at a minimum 36.5. I don't know once I get the other stud set in the other end though. I'm thinking I'll go ahead before I cut this next stud. I'll get the stud set in this end, the one that's 30, because it measures 29 5/8, which I'm thinking 30. I may wish I added a little more to it. It might be a little loose fitting, but if worse comes to worse, I'm going to put screws in it anyway, so it will hold. It will be definitely enough to work. It'd just be easier if it's tighter. But yeah, let me go ahead and mark these and cut them. It's me by myself today, so can't record the whole process. I'm pretty sure you guys know about measuring out, 30 inches, putting you a mark, get you a straight edge. It's best to put a mark on both sides of the board, maybe one in the middle, put you a straight edge on it, mark it, and take a circular saw there, cut it off. And I'm going to pause it while I do all that, and I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Okay guys, something else I forgot that I needed to do here. Well, nearly forgot. At least it wasn't too late. That apron right there that goes along on what side and underpinning used to be under here, that's got to go, because that'll actually get me off, because right here's where I want to come up to with the framework, not the lip on this. So yeah, you want to pull anything like that off, because that'll just basically get in your way, throw you off, cause you undue stress, no doubt, with the job. And we don't want to do that. We know life gives us enough stress as it is. So yeah, be sure anything like that, you go ahead and just take it out of the way, because as you can see up through there, I've took it down all the way down to here. I was just now measuring again at the other end and was like, oh, wait a minute, it's not supposed to be down that far. So yeah, I got to remove that, and then I'll be ready to get my accurate measurement on the other end here. Thinking it's going to be 36, but yeah, we'll see from that how close 36 is to true what I'm getting on the tape line. So yeah, like I said, I want a little more than that. Can't stress that enough. Okay, be back with you in a minute, guys. Okay, now that's better. Got this junk pulled out of the way now, so I can get my measurement right where I need to get my measurement at. Can't believe this. I went all the way around this place, and that's the first time I had gotten that far in my framework without taking that down yet. But that could throw me off right here for sure. See, now I'm up to the part I really, really want it to be on. Okay, be back with you in a minute. Can't hold the camera and do this too, so yeah, if I just had one more arm and hand, that'd be great, but I don't. So yeah, with 2 arms and 2 hands, I'm gonna have to pause it and be back with you once I get this measured and cut and ready to put it in. Okay, that measured out to be 36 and 3/8. So I'm gonna go, I'm guessing 36 and 5/8. Be a good idea, I guess. Okay, let's see. So I'll show you on the ruler here. We got 36 and 3/8 is right here, and I'm gonna go 36 and 5/8, which is that much of a difference, you know, from here to there. But I'm about to second guess that. I may go, I might go ahead and go 37, but I know that 2x4 down there is off the ground a little bit, so it's gonna mash that down. So I might ought to go a little more than 36 and 5/8. I'll just go 36 and 3/4. So I'm sure that it's going to be a really good, snug, tight fit. So yeah, that'll be what I do. I'll go ahead and mark it off to 36 and 3/4. And that should be exactly what I'm needing. And so let's hope that works out good for me. But you know, I would rather cut it a little big than a little too small. A little too small, I can add it back, but if it is a little big, then I can always trim a little more off of it, which I'm doubting I'm going to have to do that. I'll just take a hammer and make it go where I need it to, and then at least I'll know I can put a screw in it and it ain't going to be trying to run from me or anything. So yeah, that's what I'm going to cut it, 36 and 3/4. And so I went from 36 and 3/8 to 36 and 3/4. So let's hope that gives me the good tight snug fit I'm wanting, and I don't have to trim any more from it. But like I said, you always want to, if you're in doubt, cut it a little bigger than you would think, and that way if you got to trim it, you can. But if you know you trim too much, you can't very well add back to the lumber after it's cut off. So yeah, let me get that done and I'll be back with you guys in a minute. It's gonna have to come out. Still not straight. That still needs to go back some. It's come out up there too. Okay, now I'm going to need a stud in the middle. As you can see, the gap it's created here. So yeah, that's the whole reason I definitely want to cut them longer, so it can be a tight fit even after pushing that gap up right there. And if you notice, now both the ends have been pushed down flat on the ground, and I've got to put the middle one in first, and then I'll put the screws in the ends after I measure for my next sheet. As you see on the ends here, I leave it till I can put the screws in it right there, and so that way I've got a good snug place in the between the pieces, so ain't no wind getting in, ripping it off, anything like that, and it lets it all sit down firmly and look that good. So that's the whole point in making sure to put the studs where I can get the screws in the end of each sheet. I cut off there's a little lip right here on the end of the pieces, and I cut it off. There's a line that goes here that I cut by with a roto zip saw. It's more like a drill, like a bit that actually cuts more like a saw blade, but that's what I use. And there's actually a line made in this stuff that it's easy to follow along and go with. I do that on every piece, so between the pieces there's less of a gap in the stonework. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I've seen one recently done without that piece cut off, and to be honest, I just didn't think it looked too good, so I kind of modified it a little just to make it look like it fit together better. But now I'm going to get that centerpiece set, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, I got my next stud set for my next piece to screw up to. It'll be that one right there. And I had messed up and cut that one too short, the one I had in the end a minute ago, because when I put the next one the right length to take up the space over top of it there, it loosened that bad boy up and it fell out, and now it's loose fitting because its brother right there is taller than it. So yeah, but I'm gonna have to have one more right in that general vicinity before I get to the end. So as you see here, we've got the space there over top that's over an inch right there, and then as you can see down here, we've got space under the bottom too. Just make sure when you're building the framework for the underpinning that you take that into consideration. I mean, it may do you good to even measure the top and the bottom there, the gaps between there, and then the gap between the ground and the bottom too before. So yeah, that may help you to calculate what you're going to add to it for the tight fit. This one here fits really good and tight, so tight it actually literally broke the side out the tube before over here on the top. As you can see, it busted it out there, so that's how tight of a fit I've got on this bad boy. I'm gonna have to peg that back out this way. I want it flush with this side here, instead of being back that way too far. And down here's over just a little bit. I'll have to peg that back in and make it flush with this one. But that's the way you'd want to do it when it comes to setting your studs to bolt your siding up to and build the frame for it. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you today. But yeah, I'll be back with you guys once I get it finished. I'll give you guys a full update and show you all the way around the trailer and show you the finished work. And hopefully I help somebody somewhere, some way, somehow. And I'll save them some undue stress, or hopefully some money. I don't have to pay somebody to come do it. Hopefully you know how to build the frame for it now. And you know, it's pretty simple to understand. You put screws in it to hold it up there, and then you may want to trim the end off your piece here. And you can see, you can tell here how much I trimmed off the end of it there. It's got I guess it's about that wide of a piece that comes out and just goes straight down. Oh, there's a new piece. I'll go ahead and get that. I'll get that and show you what I'm talking about here, so there's no guessing to it. I've got to get all this out anyway. But yeah, this piece right here I cut off, and you can see the line going right there. I just take the roto zip and go up it all the way up that line and cut that off, and then when you put it with the next sheet, it comes up good and snug. Like up through there, as you can see, you can barely tell where they come together, if you even can. So it makes it look a lot better in my opinion. I leave the back side of it like that, but then the front side I trim off, and then I take and put actually the back side, like right here in this corner, up over top of the last piece. Well, no, I actually put it underneath the last piece. Okay, see, like right here where it goes up under it, and that's got the whole piece right here. And this whole piece right here in this area, all the way up to the rock, is underneath that. And so, in my opinion, that's the best look you can get out of it, is to do it that way. But yeah, you guys stay tuned to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you know someone doing this work, share this video with them. Maybe it'll help them out a bit. But yeah, you guys definitely don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And definitely subscribe. I don't have many subscribers, just getting my channel up and going, and I'm imagining there'll be many more projects like this I put on here to hopefully help people out around the house. Everything from auto mechanics to carpentry to whatever, if I know how to do it for myself, and I'll try to give you guys a pointer to help you do it for yourself and hopefully save you a ton of money. So yeah, you guys be sure to subscribe. See you next time.